What's up, traders? It's your girl Kaya Trades, and today I'm going to give you guys a very special video. So usually we don't know how to pivot as traders when we don't see our setup in the market on our specific time frame. So today I'm going to give you some special sauce in order to pivot to a lower time frame and win. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and start in our back testing to kind of review this trade. We are on replay bar replay, and I moved it back to Monday's trade. As we can see, we're on the 4-hour time frame, and price is bullish, 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 bullish. We have all-time highs right here, which could be a potential target, but we also have some liquidity resting right here. So we want to see how price reacts to this level, because from this level, price dropped. And if we can break above, price may shoot a little bit higher. So we're going to go down to our 1-hour time frame, and we're not quite at 9:30 open yet. So we're going to get to that real quick. Boom, boom, boom. We already broke above that level, but we're kind of playing around it. All right. So right before 9:30, we're going to drop down to our 5-minute. And as we can see, price is going in a bullish direction. Okay, price is moving upwards. So right now on my 5-minute, our 1-hour time frame has already shown us we're pretty bullish. Our 5-minute is in alignment with that. So we're going to go ahead and type those things out really quick. Boom, 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 boom. And we have our KT system. Our 1-hour is bullish. Our 5-minute is bullish. All right, so the next step we're looking for is a break of structure, recent break of structure. So we're going to write out the most recent high. And this is the high that we want to see price break in order to know that the trend is still continuing to the upside, okay? So we're going to move on all the way to 9:30. And even before 9:30, we get a break of structure to the upside. So once we get our break of structure, we're looking for a tap of our zone, but we also have to create that zone. So once we had the break of structure to the high, we are now going to draw out our demand zone. Here's our demand zone. Now we're just going to wait for price to come back down and tap our zone. Let's see if we can get that to happen. We have another bullish candle that came out and never tapped our zone. Okay, now I could continue to wait, or I could just ignore the charts at all, but I'm going to be patient and see if we can get a setup. Yet and still, we get no bearish candles to come down and tap our zone. We get no new bearish candles to make a new demand zone. So now I'm going to make that special thing that I was telling you guys about earlier. That is my pivot to the 1-minute time frame. Now, I typically don't like trading the 1-minute time frame, but in certain cases where the market is presenting consecutive same color and same direction candles, this is my time to pivot and drop down to a lower time frame. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm on the 1-minute. As you guys can see, we're already seeing more zones created. So I'm going to mark out this one. Boom, we broke this high right here, because this is our most recent one. By the time I drop down to my 1-minute, this is the zone that I would have seen. Therefore, I'm going to create my 1-minute demand zone. So now we've got our tap of our zone. It already tapped. It tapped a couple of times here. And the only thing we're waiting for now is a break of candle in order for us to take a trade. Okay, so my next thing is I'm going to wait for price to come above here. And if we play this next candle, price open, wicked below, still not closing below my demand zone. And then we just barely got a tap to the upside. So I'm going to go ahead and make my adjustments. I'm going to move my stop loss down a little bit. I'm risking about 53 points on this, micros, of course. And we're going to shoot for the 1 to 2. Now, when we get to break, we will move our stop loss to break even when we hit our 1 to 1. So we already got our breakup structure, boom. We got the top of our zone, boom. We waited patiently for a break of candle to the upside. And now let's see how this trade plays out. If we hit the 1-to-1, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. Okay, we're headed towards our 1-to-1. We're in drawdown. We're hesitating. Okay, we got a big push up. And boom, just like that, we just hit our 1-to-1. So this is where I would move my stop loss to break even for a risk-free trade. And when price gets closer to my TP2, I'm also going to just move my stop loss to our 1-to-1. Let's play this out. Okay. Price is kind of playing around here. We're getting a little bit closer to my 1-to-2. This is kind of the time when I would move my stop loss to my 1-to-1. So let's say my stop loss is already here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of bearish action. It looks like it might stop me out. Almost. And absolutely, price stopped me out. So even though on the 5-minute, I had no entries, we came very close to our all-time highs, and then we started making bearish candles. But on my 1-minute time frame, I wasn't able to secure the 1-to-2. It doesn't happen all the time, but I was able to pivot enough to make a 1-to-1. Okay. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too secretive, but this is just a way that I pivot in the markets when only and only when the 5-minute time frame is giving me consecutive same color candles, especially around market open. So let's say it was the inverse and it was just giving me bearish candles after bearish candles. I think that happened today. Bearish candle after bearish candle after bearish candle after bearish candle on the 5-minute. So I dropped down to the 1-minute and was able to snag a dub trade. Today's trade hit 1-to-2, so grateful on that. It happens sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time. That's why we have to manage our risk properly. Had I let it come all the way to TP2 and then let it smash my stop loss, we would have lost this amount of money, plus this amount of money, not just our original stop loss. So take profits when the market gives it to you. Really control where you're moving your stop loss and know when you're moving your stop loss so that you can take profits that you earned in the markets instead of giving it back. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you did. If there's anything you guys want to learn from me, shoot me a comment below so I can teach you guys on my end what I know so you don't have to take the same lessons I did. Catch you guys in the next one.